But let me unplug. A live stream and the microphone somehow did not work. So oops, wrong thing. Can you hear me? Doop. So I don't see the little bar thing moving. Can you hear me? Thank you, Miranda, for letting me know. If not, I will dump this microphone. Yes, now you can. Okay. Okay, good. Then I should not rattle off a bunch of bad words. Okay, perfect. Thank you. I don't know what's up. So if you can't hear me again, please let me know and I can try to fix something. Okay, so let's hop into our first question of the day. These are trivia questions based on our topic this week, which is horror movies. I won't be around for our lesson for Halloween, so we're doing it a little bit earlier now. And here we go. I'm going to plop over to the other side of the screen, and then there we go. Now, yes, now I can. Okay, good. That's good, good. That was still bad. Hello, ciao, Alessio. Hello, dear. Welcome, take two of a lesson with me today. Thank you very much for showing up again. I should have put a reminder out about our lesson today and to let people know that it was going to be an hour and a half earlier. My apologies about that. I just didn't think of it. It was kind of silly on my part. So, we have a quiz about horror movies, and let me get my information right here for us. And let's see. So, our first question is such about what percentage of horror films use jump scares? And maybe you can also kind of define jump scares if you like, what that is in a movie. A, 30%, B, 50, C, 70, and D, 90. Alessia is going with A, 30%. Did you watch Chucky? I saw Chucky. I saw Chucky in the movie theater way back when. Also, super scary movie. Yeah, that's a classic. Hey, Mohammed. So A or B, okay, okay. Kind of going for either one of those. So a jump scare is this thing where like you're watching the movie and all of a sudden the killer jumps into the screen and you do this kind of thing like, ah! So horror movies employ that a lot to scare people. They do jump scares or they use jump scares so that you get freaked out. And the answer is, of course, it's 70%. What does jump scares mean? And hello to you, Ida. So a jump scare is this thing where something pops up in the middle of a horror movie that makes you kind of jump because you're scared. So it could be the killer. It could be like in Scream, where they had lots of funny things that happened because they were trying to do sort of a parody on the whole horror movie genre. But it's when you watch a movie and you jump and you get scared. So continuously. Hello, Manuel. Welcome. Hello, Hitoko, dear. Hello, no worries. Happy. Oh, no, Yuki. That's Yuki. Sorry. Yuki, welcome, welcome, welcome. And yeah, better late than never. You know, I always say 90%, and I hate them. Me too. I think that's the worst thing. I hate jump scares, but it's actually 70% jump scares shaking your body. Exactly. It's those scares that happen. It's not the psychological scare, it's the stuff that shocks you. Hey, Natalia. Thank you for coming back again. Thank you. Nice to have you. And so, yeah, so let's see. Let's move on to number two. And today I don't really have a lot of information. So, a lot of extra information. So, if you have anything that you would like to add, you're more than welcome to do so. Happy to see you too, Manuel. I do not watch horror movies. Miranda, me neither. I cannot stand them. I don't like jump scares. I don't like psychological thrillers. I don't want any of that. No, thank you. So once a year, I watch a movie with Mike and suffer through it. watching it during the day, doing other things, curtains open, lights on. It's ridiculous, but I get scared too easily. Anyway, and I don't like that feeling. It seems like a lot of people like that adrenaline rush. That's nothing for me. Nothing, nothing. Okay, so here we go. Here's number 2. Let's see where we are headed. Okay. So which movie is one of the highest grossing horror films ever made? I can't splatter. Okay. So you don't like the splatter and scream kind. So then Yuki, I take it you like more the psychological thrillers, I guess. My children do. They like scary movies, but for me, nothing. Yeah, my daughter used to watch a lot. And then I don't know, she kind of turned off of them. But she would watch a lot of scary movies. And I was just like, nah, yeah, I don't think so. All right. So, yes, and highest grossing horror film. I would like to take a look at this word gross. When you have grossing, meaning that the earning, but you can also have gross as in disgusting. So, splatter movies and killing movies with a lot of death in them, where things fly around, those can also be gross. So, this word gross can also mean disgusting. But in this case, not meaning the highest earning. I guess it's Scream because it sounds like our topic today. Exactly, it is. Scream is our topic today. Very good guess. Hello, Dansu, I think that's Kaluna, right? B, okay, so we have guesses coming in. Typo, you don't like those. D, so we have a B, we have a D, we have an A. So the highest grossing horror movie, The Exorcist, the movie It in 2017. Psycho or Scream, what are we going with? D, okay, so we have a bit of a mix here. The answer is actually It in 2017. Let's find out how much money it earned. How much money, oops, not Monix, did it earn? I am a real cinema goer. Okay, cinema goer, but horror films, never. I have watched it into a cinema. I have an aversion. Why do I need jumping on my seat and shaking my body? It is supposed to go to the cinema for enjoying. Same here. That's my logic as well. I'm on the same page with you. So yeah, I don't know it. Me neither. I've heard of it, but I don't really know. Does anybody know what the movie It is about? Neither of them, but in Halloween, I can watch them. All the teens watch all the teens with masks over their faces. I think to dress up for Halloween is totally fun. It's such a great holiday because it is a little scary. It's a little eerie. We learned that word in our live stream before. I'll type it in here. Eerie, where it's a little bit kind of scary in sort of like a mysterious sort of way. And yes, thank you. No worries, no worries. I know that sometimes your name is Dansu or Dan something, so I know that that's you, Kaluna. So eerie. So yeah, so Halloween is a great, for me, I love this holiday. And it's also a little scary, but like in a nice way. And kind of a like, oh, you go out, you get candy, you meet up with your friends, you run around your neighborhood. And so you dress up in costume. So it's a little spooky, but in kind of a fun way. For me, horror movies are just scary. Okay, nope, sorry, that was that. So I'm looking for It. How much did the movie It earn? Let's see if the bot is going to listen to me. Thrillers and about court judges, attorneys, plaintiffs, justices. Al Pacino, he's always in something like that, right? Definitely. Okay, so it earned 701 million US dollars worldwide, making it the highest grossing film. What was it about? Because if you ask Mike, he knows all these movies. This is absolutely his genre. For me, it's not at all. And where Mike says in our lives that watching different kinds of movies has opened him up to other kind of movies, not for me. I will never be open to horror movies. John Grisham, yes, scriptwriter, for example. Okay, that's your genre that you like. So here we go. The movie It, that earned so much money. The story follows a group of children in the town of Derry, Maine, who are terrorized by a shape shifting entity. Ugh. So it can change into other kinds of shapes and beings and things, I guess, other people. A shape shifting, I think that's also like in Terminator. The Terminator can shape shift into something else. Or something other than itself. So, a shape shifting entity that often appears as Pennywise the dancing clown. Okay, no, thank you. Clowns, no, thank you. The creature feeds on the fears of children, and the kids must band together to comfort it. This actually sounds kind of nice. The film mixes supernatural horror, suspense, and coming of age themes, showing both the personal fears and the strength of friendship. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Michaela. If anybody knows the movie It, this is actually kind of feeling like a good feel good movie. So it feeds on the tears, the fears of children, but the kids get together and comfort it. It kind of, that doesn't sound scary. But I'm still not gonna watch it. Forget it. That's out. No way. All right, moving on to number 3, and let's see who you think, which gender is most likely to like horror movies. And let me plop it up here for us. We have number 3. So for those of you who are joining, we're pretty early into our quiz here. All right. I think it's written by Stephen King. Yeah, maybe. Let me take a look and see. I have not read it though. Who wrote it? He wrote a lot of stuff, right? Thank goodness he's a writer and not a doer. Yes, it was written by Stephen King. And the movie, the 2017 movie, is based on his 1986 novel. Exactly. All right. So guesses already coming in. Question is, which group is slightly more likely to enjoy horror movies? Men, women, teenagers, or children? Let me know. We have B, and Natalia is saying C, 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 C. I would say C, C, C too. Alessia is saying definitely women. I just got a C for me as well, I think. Yes. Okay. So the answer is, believe it or not, whoever guessed B, B is correct. Women tend to be the gender that likes. Okay, teenagers is not really a gender, neither is children, but for the sake of men and women, women tend to show more interest in horror movies. Some reports show that 60 to 65% of women enjoy watching horror movies. I belong to the 40 to 35% that doesn't. But yeah, researchers have demonstrated that teens and women are real addicts and inveterated, passionate. I'm not sure what that means exactly. Passionate for films, really. And Yuki, also, I learned that women love true crime series. So on Netflix, when you have all of these true crime series, women are the ones who typically watch this. And it's not men, it's women who totally enjoy these. Again, I'm out with the true crime stuff. I went last week, as many of you know, I was in Berlin with my daughter, and we went to a true crime exhibition where they had every famous serial killer. For my Italian friends, they had your very famous serial killer, the one in Tuscany. He had his own room. So, yeah, anyway, so I'm not part of that. Yeah, so, yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, why? Exactly. I love investigation documentaries. Okay, so maybe like true crime thing is kind of your thing, Kaluna. Demonstrated. Okay, so that was the word that I was missing. All right, let's move on then, and let's find which region of people. Yeah, where with certain stories. Hold on, let me remove this, find our new one. We're gonna figure out, and maybe because we have a nice little wide range of people here today. I can't speak today. I don't know what's wrong with me. Yeah, crime investigations, exactly. So maybe we are a minority. We are throwing that survey way off the charts here. Okay, so in which region are ghost and haunted house stories most popular? So ghost and haunted house, that's kind of the thing, the way that the creepy stories go. Is it A, Europe, B, Asia, C, Africa, and D, South America? And I'm going to throw this into the bot to see if it can give me more information about this. So what do you think? Please offer me more info. And yeah. So what do you think? Which region in the world is more interested in ghost stories and haunted houses? So Miranda's going with C or D. Yuki with A, perhaps. Oh, I need to click that. Any other guesses? Alessia's going with B with Asia. Okay. What do we think? Europe. Okay. So the answer is actually B or C. I guess I saw a lot of them make horror movies. Okay. Okay. So the answer is B, Asia. And it's ghost stories and haunted house tales that have a long and rich tradition across Asian cultures, including Japan, China, Thailand, the Philippines, and Japan. Help me out, my Japanese friends. Kaden, traditional ghost stories or J horror, films like The Ring and Ju-on. In China, ghost festivals, ancestral spirits, and supernatural folklore. But for me, like when you go into like ghost and ancestral spirits and that kind of thing, it sounds less like horror and more like it's sort of your tradition. Yuki, I know you've told me so many times about the different traditions you have for your ancestors. So like that kind of festival, that doesn't seem like horror. That seems more like honoring people who are no longer with us. Haunted, not bloody. Exactly, exactly. In Thailand and the Philippines, local legends and horror films. Anyway, so Yuki Sudoku is Japanese horror. Sadako, maybe. I can't read. One you guessed A. It's actually B. It is Asia. Haunted Dracula by Bram Stoker, Romania. Yeah. Okay. So, and I'm not sure if that's Brahms or Brahms. Dracula author. I think it's Brahms. Bram Stoker. Okay, I got it. All right, so let's see. Now we're moving on to something that totally creeps me out because it's way too close to reality. And we're talking about found footage. So, found footage in horror movies. So, found footage horror movies like the Blair Witch Project make people feel how much more scared? Does it make them 10% more scared, 25% more scared, 50 or 75% more scared? I think that I've watched it. It was the woman with the long hair that goes out from the well. No, Kaluna. I get freaked out. Okay. So, yes. So, what do you think? Alessia's going with D, and Manuel's saying in the USA, it looks like there are 12,222 haunted houses per square, right? According to horror movies, like every other house, that's a really funny comment. Every other house is haunted in the United States. Very funny. Although when I went to the serial killer exhibition, there are so many American serial killers that it's like, don't go to America. It's like really not good PR for the United States. Not at all. So we have a lot of people saying D, D, or several people saying D. And that is actually incorrect. It's still high, it's 50%. So when people use found footage in horror movies, then it makes it 50% more, it makes it 50% scarier. And yeah, it does for me, I have to say. I started the Blair Witch Project years ago and probably watched the first 15 minutes and gave up. So I don't know. Has anybody seen the Blair Witch Project? That's a very scary one where they used found footage idea where they made it look like it was real and that they were reporting on something that was actual, so it made it even more believable. Absolutely. Teens have a tendency to laugh, to slap, I'm not sure, to laugh with witches and devils. Okay. All right. So moving on, you can let me know if you've seen the Blair Witch Project, if that was scary or not, if you found it scarier than the average horror movie because of the found footage, or it was okay. All right. Moving on to number 6. And let's see. Oops. I don't know what I've done. Here we go. Number 6. Maybe. Okay, there it is. So number 6, here we go. How popular is the horror genre? It's kind of a hard word to say because you have all these R's and then an O and then an R. Horror. It's a hard word to say. Horror. The horror is a bit of a horror to say. How popular is the horror genre? It's the watched genre in the world. The most watched genre, the second most watched genre, the third most watched, or the fourth most watched. Yes, she sometimes comes out from TV display. Isn't that The Ring? I'm not sure, but I think that Mike just told me about a Japanese horror movie where the character comes out of the movie and kills everyone, out of the TV and kills everyone. No, I've not. Some movies, some movies considered horror, which I have seen, like Shallow, about a shark that doesn't think it is really a horror movie. Okay, so for you, that's a horror. Some movies are horror movies, even though they aren't really considered horror movies. Miranda, I think that's what you mean. So, Ida, darling, you're saying be the second most. It is really hilarious to see people eating popcorn, watching the bloodiest films, throw up worms going out of their mouth, right? Yeah, there's a disconnect there. Natalia's got an A for me. Kaluna's got a B. Yes, Jen, that's The Ring, where she comes out of the TV. But I just learned this today. I will never watch that film. Yes, no, thank you. All right, so we have an A, we have a B as guesses. I think we had another B up here, another B as well. Alessio's going with B. So the answer is actually the third most. What is genre? Genre is the type of film, whether it's comedy, action, horror movie, drama. So genre, and beautifully spelled, that is the type of film, the category of film. So it's the third most watched genre. Number 1 is, of course, comedy, right? Everybody loves a good comedy. Number 2 is action. 3 is horror, and 4 is drama. So just so you know. Moving on to number 7. And the production of horror movies, because that is also big business. So let's take a look at number 7. And we have the production in the contrary. I'm not sure. So let's see. Why Hollywood studios love producing, why do Hollywood studios love producing horror movies? A, they always win Oscars. B, They're quick and easy to film. C, they have the highest return on investment. Or D, they are easy to cast. And when you cast a film, hey, Karina, dear, when you cast a film, then that's when you hire different actors for different roles. That's called casting a film. Then you have the casting director, the one who decides that whichever actress will come into the film. So let's see, I'm missing a couple comments. Depends on the ages. The younger you are, the most of the best is horror. Maybe the horror film is your favorite. So everybody's guessing C, 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 and ta-da! Of course, C. Right? Is a very logical answer, I guess. So they have the highest return on investment. And to put this into perspective, Alessio, you talked about the movie Paranormal. I think Paranormal Activity, maybe. I think that you did. And this was made in 2007. They spent $15,000 to make this film, which in Hollywood money is absolutely nothing. And this film ended up earning around 193 million worldwide. So 15,000 to make it, 193 million worldwide. That's a great return on your investment. So a lot of Hollywood studios like to make these films because they have very, very low budgets, and then you can make a lot. As far as I'm concerned, Bollywood and Hollywood are equals. Okay. I'm guessing that's critique. I don't know. All right. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting how you can make a horror movie for such a low budget and then make a ton of money. All right. Moving on to number 8. And yes, this one is kind of an interesting question. This was also something new for me. And let's see what you have to say. Okay. So, what surprising effect can watching a scary movie have on your body? Is it A, it helps you sleep better? B, it can burn up to 200 calories? C, it lowers your heart rate? Or D, it boosts your immunity? I think Bollywood he means as in Indian movies, the with the singing and the dancing and everything. So what do you think? What surprising effect? Yuki's going with B. It can burn 200 calories. Alessia's going with B. By all accounts, box office and blockbuster, absolutely. B, 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 B. Lowers. So it lessens. Thank you for asking, Ida. So it lowers it. It doesn't increase. It lowers your heart rate. It makes your heart beat slower. Maybe it makes your blood pressure. Oh, actually, I have no idea what that means. But yeah, lowers is lessen. Okay, everyone's guessing B, and you're absolutely correct. So maybe I should watch a lot of horror movies and burn 200 calories the easy way. So it can burn up to 200 calories. So watching a movie like The Shining or Jaws keeps your adrenaline pumping, making horror not only a thriller, but also a mini workout. So the answer is B. I get very tired when I am forced to watch that kind of movie, so it should be. Really, you get tired. I just sit like this the entire time. I watch it through my sweater or my shirt. So for teens, laugh out. So they get extra calories. They're laughing and their adrenaline is pumped. The teens get it even better. Not that they need it, but yeah. So I think I have to start watching horror movies so that I can lose a little weight. Watch 5 a day. No. Yeah, so it's the diet plan watching horror movies. All right, moving on to number 9, and we're talking about the movie Jaws. Good for calories, but bad for sleeping, right? Good point, Michaela. Very good point. Number 9, here we go. Let's see. Okay. So, what was the shark and Jaws nicknamed by the production team? So the movie, the Jaws movie, was it named Chompy? Like chomping is when you bite something. You can chomp into an apple. It's that sound and also the movement. Was it named Bruce, Jaws Jr., or Fin? Because it has this fin, the dorsal fin, I think is what it's called. What do you think? What was the nickname? Watch more scary movies to lose weight, right? It's the lose weight with terror. It is better to avoid watching Paranormal Activity. I will definitely not watch that for sure. Thank you for the warning. Although maybe it's 400 calories then. Maybe it doubles the calories the scarier it is. Okay, I have to watch scary movies before my vacation. Right, before a beach vacation, do the scary movie diet. I don't know. Okay, no guesses. All right, Yuki's going with C, Jaws Jr., little Jaws Jr., in regards to the option Finn. Okay, so you're going with Finn, so that is D. Kaluna's going with D as well, and Finn. Okay, so we have lots of people going with Finn, lots of people going with, or Yuki going with Jaws Jr. The answer is actually B, Bruce. And there's a funny story behind it. So the shark was named after director Steven Spielberg's lawyer. The lawyer's name was Bruce, and it was like, I guess he's a bit of a shark. If you say that someone's a shark, if you use that as an adjective to describe them, then it kind of means they're sort of vicious and mean and cruel. It can go after you. So I guess Steven Spielberg's lawyer is someone you don't want to mess with, and so they named Jaws Bruce after his lawyer. All right. So last but not least, hello to you. Welcome, welcome. Hello to you in India. So Steven Spielberg created a mythical shark. Yes. And he named that shark. In the movie, the shark is named Jaws. These are your jaws, the jaw bones, where you can open and close your mouth. Yes, exactly. And so they named it Jaws because it can open its mouth and I guess kill things easily. And so then in the film, then while they were filming, then they gave it a nickname. They didn't call it Jaws. They called it Bruce, named after Steven Spielberg's lawyer. Okay, last but not least, number 10. Here we go. And let's see. So according to a survey that was done between October 2023 and September 2024, which country had one of the highest percentages of people who enjoyed horror films and shows? So kind of like which nationality in a way? A, Japan, B, Mexico, C, the United States, or D, Germany? Which would you say? Which country reported having many people really into horror movies? What do you think? Any guesses? Okay, Yuki's going with A, question mark. So do you think that the Japanese like a lot of horror movies? Okay, another one from Kaluna with Japan. C, United States. I would totally guess C for sure. I think that Americans love horror movies. I am one of the rare Americans that tries to avoid them. Lots of people guessing CC. I think somebody guessed A, I think. Hold on. Who was that? There was AA and then CCC. CC, so United States. Shows USA, horror films USA, and Japan, except me, yes. Okay. So the answer is actually Mexico, where it showed that 49% of the people in Mexico said that they enjoyed horror movies and shows. So I don't know. I was surprised. I don't know the rationale behind that, but yeah, it was Mexico that seemed to enjoy a lot of horror movies. But it seems that in Japan too, I know in America as well, we watch a lot of horror films. We, not me, them, they do. I don't. But yeah. You can't make the cake and eat it too. Yes, right. So, all right, folks, slowly but surely, we will say goodbye for today. If you have hung in here for the last 38 minutes and you would like to, or 36 minutes, and you would like to be part of this community, please like, follow, subscribe, do all of that stuff that I am always feel embarrassed about saying. And I will definitely go live tomorrow at our normal time, normal day, normal time, 3 p.m. German time. And we have a whole lesson, not necessarily based on Scream, but on horror movies in general. I think it will be a fun one. Thank you, Kaluna. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you, Manuel. Yes, that was that. And Yuki and Miranda and Alessio and Mohammed that was here. So, and everybody else who I'm not, Michaela. Yeah, I don't want to miss anybody's name, but yes, thank you everyone for taking the time. I'm sorry I announced this so short before we actually started the lesson. Thank you very much for your flexibility and showing up anyway. Hope to see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Yuki. All right, dears. Take care. Bye.